Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Wendy's covering the latest juicy hot topics. And Rosie Perez is here telling us about The View, starring on Broadway with Larry David, and more. Plus, there's more chances for home viewers to win big money as Wendy keeps putting the cha-ching in spring. Now, here's Wendy!
Good looking. Ta-da! Welcome to the circus. Yeah, I see you. I see you too. Thanks for watching. My co-host, my studio audience. Fantastic. Ooh, boy. After that reception, I'm doing swell. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you. Did you watch Dancing with the Stars last night? This Rumer Willis is killing it. First of all, I'm mesmerized by the dress. Now, you know I love crinoline, and I love her 50s look. Her dance theme was 50s, and she danced with Val. I wonder if they're dating yet. Remember, she's crushing on him and so on and so forth. Look, she's probably going to win. There are like 5 people left, but it's not even about her dancing because we know she's good. It's about the dress. I mean, Rumer, you should buy that dress. You should keep it. They sell you the costumes when you go to Dancing with the Stars. And look, you know I'm an insider. Season 12 loser. No, but look. They offer you if you'd like to buy it, and you don't buy it cheap. They're very expensive. I would buy this dress. There are very few things on Dancing with the Stars that you can actually wear out in the streets. You know, this, I would buy this and wear it to death. I remember, when I did it, I was so excited. This is before the truth of the matter set in, that I can't dance and people were mean. But I was very excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy one of my costumes, whichever one, that I choose, I wanna buy it. So I saw the first costume that they made, and they really, the beat. I wanted to buy my costume. I was so happy to be there, and the costume was $3,000. Well, no, because they custom make them. They measure your limbs, they measure everything. And then they meticulously, the wardrobe department is really fantastic at Dancing with the Stars. Nothing is off the rack. But it was $3,000 and I was gonna buy it, and then I was gonna buy a mannequin, and I was gonna put it, because I was like happy to be a part of this show. And I was gonna put it in my mom cave as, remembrance of, well, it's not like I could wear this to the shop, right? But I was gonna buy my costume, and then the fact of the matter settled in that I didn't like dancing, and I didn't like the mean people, and I wasn't very good at it, and I don't want the costume. But the bigger part of last night is that Rumer's dad, Bruce Willis, and Bruce's wife, Emma, they're parents of 2. He has 2 kids with Emma. They showed up, and look, I'm not even hearing what he's saying, this Bruce Willis. Every time he opens his mouth to me, it's ba 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 ba, because he's distractingly hot and sexy to me. Like, he's distracting. Take a look and get your drool plate.
The most exciting thing for me was how she looked when she got done dancing and stepped off stage. I love seeing her happy like that.
It's so nice to see you. She
makes me cry.
People will come up and say, oh, Bruce, we don't need your autograph. We just want to tell you that we're Team Val and Rue. You're becoming Rumer Willis's dad, not Bruce Willis's daughter.
That's right. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Right? And we know, like, he's got such masculine energy, but it's really, heartfelt to see him be a dad. Like, he's just, to me, Bruce Willis is everything. If he would just change his entire outfit. I mean, Hey, we were talking about this last week. Remember I was saying it's great to be a mom. You just don't want to look like a mom. Well, it's great to be a dad. He looks like a dad. I mean, but it's okay. He can still get it. In the meantime, so the 14-year-old girl, Willow Shields, she's from the Hunger Games, and she was booted off last night. Her partner was Mark Ballas. He was nice to me when I was at Dancing with the Stars, and he's real handsome too, Mark Ballas. Hi, Mark, how you doing? So they ninja'd, and the girl got cut off, but the bigger deal is that after she was eliminated, you know, people were complaining, like, well, 14, she shouldn't have even been on Dancing with the Stars. Why would you make a 14-year-old girl cry? Well, you take a look, and then I'm gonna give you my opinion, all right?
I think she's shown incredible improvement from day one, taking risks. She's only 14, guys. She's out there dancing, keeping up with everybody. Thank you again for everyone. It's been a hell of a ride. I couldn't be more proud. This is all about her for me, and I'm just really, really proud.
Can I not be a TV host for a minute and just be a dad? Come here.
Not aw. You mean, oh, well, young lady, everybody's not a winner in life. Toughen up. Listen. This is my thought on a 14-year-old being on Dancing with the Stars. First of all, that's too young to be on that show. It's not fair, but as long as you're gonna be there, you're gonna be criticized like everyone else. So I can't, do you agree with me? Yeah. I'm so shocked, you're my people. I thought that they were gonna say, you know, oh, Wendy, you're so mean and you're a mom, have some compassion. If your son at 14 was playing on, you know, the senior basketball team with 18-year-olds, you know, how would you treat him? I'd be like, first of all, I want the coach to be tough on him, and then I'd be tough on him the whole way home. Dry your tears. You wanna compete? Toughen up. Everybody's not a winner. Put your seatbelt on. Shut up. So then you do agree. It's like, you know, kids in competition, if you know, for our kids, if we're gonna put them out there to compete, then they've gotta learn early in life that life kicks you constantly. The only time the kicking stops is when you're dead. And if we're gonna, if I don't like when older people are on Dancing with the Stars because I feel as though they get a pass because they're older and we like let them stay around because they're older. I feel about older people the way I feel about very young people. If you're gonna be in it, then toughen up. Yeah. That's it. How many more weeks of Dancing with the Stars? I'm exhausted.
6 people are left.
Anyway, it airs tonight again at 8 o'clock on ABC. So, Mariah's got this new song, and I believe she's talking about Nick. It's called Infinity. It's the only new song that she has out. She's got a new album coming out, but don't worry, it's not new stuff that we don't know. It's this one song, Infinity, and then everything else are the songs that we like Honey, and the songs we know the words to. Yeah. All right. So, some of the lyrics in this song, first of all, the entire song is like one big read. But I can't sit here and do all the lyrics, so I just picked out a few. Talking about you're mad, could it be that you just lost the best thing you ever had? She's almost like rapping. Look. Boy, you acting so corny like Fritos. Wouldn't have none of that without me, though. Why you trying to play like you're grown? Everything you own, boy, you still owe. She wins. I don't love this song, and neither does my resident lamb, Norman. But we don't love it.
We don't love it.
No, it's not a good song. But the thing is that it's a poignant song for this time in her life. Those lyrics need to be said. And yeah, you know, Mariah does write her own music, so that did come from the heart. And as long as these other people are out here writing about their relationships, we want to hear this juiciness, because, you know, it's one thing. I mean, I don't know, you know, you almost feel sorry for Mariah, like maybe, you know, she wants him back and he's running around town with other women, but this song definitely puts a stamp on it. And if you harken back to when they were together at Easter with the kids, a lot of people were saying, well, you know, maybe they're getting back together. And I was like, no, they're not getting back together. They're doing this for the purpose of Monroe and Monrock. You know, but clearly, because, you know, it takes a person a while to write a song and then get in the studio and have it produced. Easter was just the other day. So little did Nick know, at the time of Easter, this song was written, and then look, and then look. And then he even supported her by putting it on his social media and the hashtag and, you know, infinity and all that, not even knowing that it's a diss record about him. Now, if she would just get herself a little plaything, you know, like an older man, I didn't say boyfriend, just a little something, you know, and then get out there and kill it in Vegas, she could virtually be back. I'll poll him again, Mariah. Look, she can virtually be back. You're so two-faced. You just said, I didn't poll you to change your mind. I wanted you to stick with your original opinion. Mariah, I'm gonna poll him again and watch them say. Look, Mariah, you can be back if you do all that stuff. All right, we're gonna move on to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, I've been telling you all along this guy, Calvin Harris, is not good for you. I've been telling you all along that the word in the street is that he's an opportunist. And that he's only with you because you're Taylor Swift. Now, I know who Calvin Harris is. He's a DJ, but we've talked about this. He's one of the wealthiest DJs. He's worth $100 million. Okay, he's one of the wealthiest DJs in the world. He spins all around the world. He's international. But the thing with Calvin Harris is that only a segment of the population knew who he was, whereas everybody knows who Taylor Swift is. Do you understand what I'm saying? So by him dating Taylor Swift, all of a sudden, that small segment of population is now grown. So there is a reason to think that he could be an opportunist, like the streets are saying, Taylor. And then Taylor, we found out something. Did you know this? That he was in a relationship with a model named Erica Wolf that overlapped with him getting with you? Allegedly? All right, well, I'm not judging though, because guess what? They were only together for 6 months. Now, for the rest of us, 6 months is a long time. We can fall in love with somebody in 6 months. It becomes a real relationship. But when you're an international DJ, 6 months is like 6 minutes because he's in Germany this week, and he's in Montego Bay next week, and he's spinning in Jersey the week after that. So, you know, it's not a real relationship, I guess, when you're with an international DJ until you've been together for like 3 years. Anyway, let's take a look at more Erica. Can we see? Yeah. He's got a type. That would be tall and thin. Anyway, so what are we gonna do about this, Taylor? Because I suggest that he's an opportunist, and there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is when people allow people to opportune them. I think, you know, it's human nature sometimes to take advantage of the weak, sometimes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. It's up to the weak to get the strength to not be taken advantage of. So Taylor, I don't see anything wrong with what Calvin is doing. He's just trying to get his weight up. But Taylor, don't let him do that to you. Your mom has cancer. I'm sorry to hear about that too, Taylor. You have other things to focus on. I want you to write a song about this joker. Say hello to Mrs. Swift for me, and continue to look cute. There. I was talking to my big sister, Wanda, on the phone yesterday. And we were talking about, we were talking about news people and their credibility, is what we were talking about. And she was telling me that that skit that, what's his face, Matt Lauer did with Ellen, and show the picture. Like, my sister man crushes. Yeah, but her thing is, what is the world coming to when news people lose their credibility with nipple pasties and a garter belt? And I was like, yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Wanda, because you know what? I've shared with you guys that I wanted to be a newscaster or a radio personality. And once I got to college and I realized the intricacies and the credibility that you have to keep as a newscaster, I said, no, I can't live up to that. You know, I like to have fun. And so then, you know, I reminded her of Brian Williams, and I said, by the way, there are 3 people who I think are so happy that Bruce is breaking the internet right now, because now we're not talking about them. And one of them was Brian Williams, and the other one, Sherry Shepherd, and the other one, Bill Cosby. Right? Look, 3 new accusers came out with allegations last week. I don't even care. Like, we have the attention span of a gnat in our society, and we've moved on to Bruce. And guess what? It's so funny, because me and my boys, we were talking about it today, and the three of us, I said, you know what? I'm over the whole Bruce thing. They both said, us too. We've moved on, it just happened yesterday, right? It's so crazy. Anyway, back to Brian Williams. So, you know, he was suspended, as we know, for 6 months for embellishing the story about the copter and, you know, whatnot. Well, now there's an internal NBC investigation, and it's revealing that Brian may have lied up to 11 times. My sister and I both agree, he doesn't need to have that job. Like, you know, as a news person, your credibility is everything. Your word is supposed to be your bond. And Lester Holt was doing a really good job up until 3 weeks ago. Well, what had happened was, the nightly news on NBC had been #1 for 5 years. That's 288 weeks, winning. The last 3 weeks, though, they've been #2. I don't see anything wrong with being #2, but it's better to be #1, you know? Lester Holt's smile is everything to me. Just everything. He's got like a young boy's teeth. Anyway, so the problem is, okay, now, Brian, who has a $50 million contract, so don't cry for him, Argentina, he'll be just fine. He has a $50 million contract. The guy who helped nurture Brian to be the news king that he ended up being for NBC Nightly News returned to his post recently as a big chief over at NBC, the head of the news department. He wants Brian Williams back at the news desk. But there are many people inside NBC news department that don't want him back because they feel that he's lost credibility. Now, one of my executive producers here, Perler says that he doesn't feel like Brian should have been suspended at all, and that the news is more like entertainment. And I said, no, not that news. This news is entertainment. Like that. You know, I don't want Brian Williams telling me what's going on in Baltimore, because the next thing you know he's going to say is that he was down there in the middle of the burning CVS. Like I can't. Peace to Baltimore. I just can't. So now I'm going to take a poll of my co-host. Clap if you feel that Brian Williams needs to find another job. Just sit down. God. I'm not at the NBC Nightly News, so I can't really, you know, I'm just judging based on the story. I don't watch the NBC Nightly News because Positively Ernie is on Fox 5 at that time. Shout out to Ernie Anastas. Followed by TMZ. That's where I get my news. Thank you for coming here to get your news. A mess. Shout out to all the tall girls. Why is it that little girls, don't you get pissed when you see a little girl taking one of our size? Like Jada Pinkett is this big and Will is a tall drink of water. Why? Hayden Panettiere is another one. She's like 5'1". Why can't we have this? Okay. That is her fiance Vladimir Klitschko, and they have a baby together. And he's 6'7", and he's a mixed martial artist or something. He's a boxer.
World heavyweight champion.
Okay. He's a boxer. Anyway, they have a 4-month-old baby, and people are upset because he brought the baby into the ocean, and she had on no hat, and she has on no life jacket. But you know what? First of all, if you've ever had a baby and your man sticks around, you find out men. I'm just saying. Well, like, you know, sometimes they do flee the scene. But, you know, we all know, if you've had a baby, that men tend to do stupid things. Some of those stupid things are charming, and then others are downright, what are you doing? In the case of this, as a mom, I'm not judging this. First of all, the baby doesn't need a life jacket. With guns like this, he ain't dropping that baby. #1. #2. You act like they were in the water for an hour. How much do you want to bet he only took her to the water for a moment, a little dip-de-doo, and then that's it? And please don't ask me about the salt in her eyes, because that's a whole nother thing. But I think that the baby is fine, and I think people should stop judging each other's parenting. And by the way, Vladimir, congratulations on your big win the other night. Yeah, and yeah. And Hayden, you know I love you, and I don't care that it's an Yves Saint Laurent. Even Yves Saint Laurent makes a mistake. Ew. Yeah, it's like a $4,000 ensemble. Money back.